Today, we discuss the negative impact of the media and what reality transurfing says about this. We will talk about our natural negativity bias and how we might combat that negativity bias in a healthy way. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kathie Owen. I have been a certified fitness trainer and certified life coach since 2002. On this channel, we talk about fitness, having a growth mindset, healthy habits, and even some reality transurfing. It's Tuesday, so we are talking transurfing on Tuesday. Today, we're talking about how to deal with the negative pendulums of the media. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you never miss content from me. Here is a quote from Reality Transurfing. The negative impact of the mass media on the human psyche requires the individual to be very consciously aware. Do not let negative information affect you. Everywhere you look, someone is trying to seduce you, capture your attention, or force something on you. Any group of people has its pendulum. When adherents carry out the pendulums, they are often unaware of its true goals. So you should always ask yourself the question, who needs this and why? And also ask, do I need it? That is from Vadim Zealand in Reality Transurfing. The negativity bias. It is a cognitive bias that results in adverse events having more significant impact on our psychological state than positive events. The negative bias is our tendency not only to register negative stimuli more readily, but also to dwell on those events. The following excerpt is from Positive Psychology. Where does the negativity bias come from? Negativity bias is thought to be an adaptive evolutionary function. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors were exposed to immediate environmental threats that we no longer need to worry about. Predators, for example, and being more attentive to these negative stimuli played a very useful role in survival. These days, bias may play a role in our early development. Infants don't have extensive life experience to draw on. It's hard to argue that a negativity bias isn't still helpful in some circumstances. But as we grow and as society develops, this hardwired tendency is not as useful as it once was. News coverage is predominantly negative around the world. Negative news appears to dominate the media. But why are they so prevalent? One must ask. One hypothesis is that due to negativity bias, negative coverage is more attention grabbing than positive coverage. It is a studied fact that humans are more aroused by and attentive to negative news on average. How to overcome the negativity bias. I'm in the process of completing my book, The Truth Bubbles Up. This book is all about how I overcame the negativity bias of my circumstances and then turned them around. We must stay disciplined in order to overcome the negativity bias. I mean, Vadim even says the negative impact of the mass media on the human psyche requires the individual to be very consciously aware. Do not let negative information affect you. Everywhere you look, someone is trying to seduce you, capture your attention, or force something upon you. It is going to take discipline to become aware. Discipline is about a choice. Just like I discussed in turning those breakdowns into breakthroughs last week, it is going to take discipline to become aware. Discipline is about a choice. Just like I discussed in turning those breakdowns into breakthroughs last week, we have a choice to interpret a situation. We also have a choice as to what we let into our consciousness. Consider for a moment who you follow on social media or how you spend your free time if you do not do social media. How constructive is that? What state does that put you in? You choose to follow whom you follow or the habits you participate in your free time. How are they contributing to your life? Oftentimes, these create a negative impact, and that pendulum, my friend, swings very high. Challenge your self talk. Have you ever considered your thought habits around this negativity bias? We think over 70,000 thoughts a day, and science has proven that 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts we thought yesterday. It is no wonder that we get caught in a negativity bias. Start checking in with yourself throughout the day. You can start to recognize any thoughts that are running through your mind, both helpful and unhelpful ones. You can also look at your own behaviors too for a better understanding of what is serving you and what isn't. And I would be amiss if I did not mention a mental diet right here because I do coach on a mental diet. And actually, if you download your Reality Transurfing Pendulum download, there is a bonus download in there on a mental diet because a mental diet is just simply becoming aware of your thought habits and then don't dwell on the negative, even though it's easy. That's why I say discipline is so important. So, from here, you can start to tackle these head on, challenging them and replacing them with more useful thoughts. So, once you become aware of your thought habits, you can start to tackle these head on, challenging them and replacing them with more useful ones. What were you thinking before you experienced anger, resentment, or frustration? Was it negativity bias in action, perhaps? And how can you replace those thoughts with more positive ones? Become aware. Do you need help with this? I created a download to help you understand the pendulums in your life. Not all pendulums are destructive. Identify where you can spend your energy so you can be released of the pendulum's prod. For example, quit giving the pendulum the energy of your irritation. There's also a bonus download of a mental diet resource guide that I highly recommend. You can download yours today at www.kathieowen.com/reality transurfing. I hope to see you there. So, another way we can combat the negativity bias is to savor positive moments. When you stop and take some time to drink in a positive experience, you're savoring it and creating memories for the future. Building up your store of positive mental images and feelings can help you address the imbalance that the negative bias predisposes us to. The next time you experience or create a positive moment, take a little longer than you usually would to enjoy it. Engage fully in the good sensations, happy thoughts, and pleasant emotions that you feel, and make a note of what you enjoyed about it. When you go home, why not reflect on what just happened and turn the savoring skill into a habit? Here's how I do this. I use Notion. I love Notion. You've heard me talk about it before. And what I do is I have a daily log that I have, and I write down little stories that happen every single day. And I use those as helpful reminders because think about it for a minute. When you read a book or when you experience a day, you don't remember, especially we don't remember all the little good things that happen, and this can cause us to focus too much on the negative, and we don't want to do that. And I learned this little trick from some podcasts I listened to, but it was just to write down the stories. And this guy said that what he does is he goes back into his Notion journal and reads about, oh, let's say it's November 2019. And he goes back and through and reads his little daily little stories. This only takes a few minutes to do, too, by the way. And he reads back his stories of that month. And he's like, wow, I had totally forgot about all of that because that's the way our brains work. I highly encourage you to do this and start enjoying the process. It will change your life. So, in conclusion, negative pendulums are everywhere. They are constantly vying for attention. Become aware, find discipline, try a mental diet. Ask yourself the questions: who needs this information and why? And also ask yourself, do I need it? As Vadim says, when adherents carry out the pendulum's will, they are often unaware of its true goals. So you should always ask yourself the question: who needs this and why? And even, do I need it? All right. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. That's my episode for today. If you know someone who can benefit from this, please share it with them. And until next time, I'll see you next time. Peace out and namaste.